Welcome back, watch fans. We have yet another unboxing of a first to the channel, an Alpina. And I have to say, lately I have really been intrigued by pilots' watches. And I thought this one absolutely fit that bill. And we will get into the meat of the matter here. This Alpina brand, been around since 1883. Comes with your massive booklet, tells you how to work the chronograph. And I'll show you that in just a second because it is really cool. This is one of the mechanical chronographs. We'll open that box. This one's been around a while. This is actually circa 2017. But just look at that dial, that classic pilot watch style Alpina. Everything very clear, very concise. Got the tag in there and everything. And these are, let's see if I can make out the reference number. It's a little bit faded, but I think AL725B4S6, possibly. Let me check that just to make sure. AL725B4S6, that's correct. Wow, nice. And these come on leather. The leather strap is very nice. It's thicker than your usual strap, especially where the lugs are, where the pins are, which actually I really rather like because this size of watch just calls for that. There's a much thicker end here. Honestly, it's really nice. And in the end, these are well worn. I like broken in watch straps. Of course, I think everybody should. But this 44 millimeters overall, lug to lug of, the lug width 22, lug to lug of 51. So yes, it is a good size watch. Now, the listing identifies this as 13.7. Now I measured it and it definitely wears different or thicker than 13.7. So I'll just do that right here for you. Let's see, get it right in the center. It is 14.6, which that feels about accurate based on the feel of the watch. And I have to say though, there is something about that dial. It is striking and very clear. Of course, the chronograph functions, and you push the top button. It is mechanical and it's automatic. And push that top button and it will start the timer, and then you can reset it with the bottom. So I'll show you now. You start the timer, you stop it 5 seconds, give or take. Reset it with this. And this top, I'll just let that run for a little while. If it doesn't die on me, it's not fully wound. Very nice case back. Apparently Alpina watches, as I mentioned, been around since 1883. This particular watch has they call it the Valjoux movement. It's the ETA 7750, and it's pretty popular. It comes in a bunch of Panerai watches and whatnot. Very durable, kind of a workhorse movement, and that Valjoux probably rings a bell for lots of people out there. These have 100 meters of water resistance, although I would not call this a swimming watch per se. 25 joules, the frequency is 28,800. 46 hours of power reserve, plenty, and you see that's finally starting to move. Very interesting, and you can see this wind back straight up top. And that's the way it sits. This has no second hand, by the way, so there's no ticking second hand, but such a cool vibe to that. Signed crown, of course. Very interesting. I'll show you that on my 7.3 inch wrist. Today we've got, of course, the very nice weekend work watch, I call it. that Seiko Samurai. I was working in the yard all day. No better watch for that kind of stuff than this bad boy. I can take a licking and keep on ticking, just like Timex. So in 1883, what I read about the brand, Gottlieb Hauser established the Swiss Watchmakers Corporation, and evidently the brand Alpina was on his mind. It was not called Alpina at the time. He officially registered it in 1901. So while the brand was around, or the watchmaker and manufacturer was around, since 1883, that brand was registered. Finally, in 1901, there it is on my wrist. I think it is, of course, a big watch, but I think it wears very well. And I do love that dial. This strap tapers down quite a bit. It's very comfortable. I'll measure that because I think that might be important. And let's see here, tapers down to 17.7. So basically from 22 down to 18, give or take. Alpina was a watch manufacturer who were actually, eventually they were acquired in 2016 by Citizen, which I think is great. I am a big fan of Citizen watches. I love what they do. I think they've got excellent customer service, at least in my experience. And of course, Alpina, they took their hits during the quartz crisis in the 70s, just like everyone else did. But their pilot line are just beautiful. I don't know that I would ever really actually use that to time anything. Maybe somebody would, but very nice, very well done. Excellent dial. I love it. Thanks for watching.